Morning, everybody. How are you feeling today? How's Ignite treating you? Pretty good? You're not caffeinated up yet? Welcome. My name is Ryan Storgard. I work on the Microsoft Commercial Marketplace team. And we're going to be talking about managing deployment and procurement of third-party software in Azure. How many of you are customers? Good chunk of you. Any partners? A couple of you? Yeah, okay, cool. So why are we here? Hopefully you read the session and the session description, because basically the themes that we're going to talk about today is adoption of cloud marketplaces is another aspect of consumerization of IT, is how do we make things faster, more seamless, more friction-free, and cloud marketplaces, and in particular SaaS solutions, are what really bring a lot of the benefits to easing the friction around these. One of the things that larger organizations have are basically, we could say, sophisticated requirements and just actually leave it there, especially around procurement of software, managing software, and governance of software. So what we're going to do today is really, we got a 20-minute kind of lightning round talk, but myself, Ali, Felipe from the Commercial Marketplace team, if you guys have questions, feedback, or anything, we're going to be hanging around afterwards, so by all means, come and chat with us. But really what we thought we'd do is we'd really cover 5 common scenarios that tend to come up that we get a lot of feedback on from customers and partners pretty consistently. First one is around cost management, meaning, hey, with Azure Marketplace, can I turn it off completely? I don't want my users to basically be buying third-party solutions. So can I turn it off, or can I only enable free and bring your own license types of scenarios? The next one is resource control with Azure Policy. How many of you guys are using Azure Policy today? A couple of you? So we'll take a look at that, and I'll do a demo to show you how this works, where we'll actually use Azure Policy as a way to restrict virtual machines. Third one is securing network traffic, and this scenario is really around a new feature that launched in Azure called Azure Private Link, where basically you want to guarantee that all of the network connectivity between any services, or especially your service and a third-party service, is actually on the Microsoft backbone. It doesn't go over the public internet. And then finally, what I'll do is I'll give you guys some insights into some of the flexibility we have around deployment offerings and billing and procurement. So let's just jump right in. So the first scenario is around how do I restrict third-party Azure Marketplace software purchases? So traditionally, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but we had the capability to turn off Azure Marketplace completely. So we've had that for a while. One of the scenarios that we got quite often from customers, though, was, hey, that's great, but it's like an all or nothing switch. You just either have it on or you have it off. There's kind of a middle ground, which is around, I want to enable free and bring your own license scenarios. So really what we were trying to constrain is dollars, like purchasing software through the Azure Marketplace. So you can do that today. This shipped in the summer timeframe around July, if you haven't seen it. And I'm showing here, there's 2 different ways that you can do this. The screenshot on the left is from the EA portal. And if you go down under Azure Marketplace, you can see there's enabled, disabled, or the new one is free BYOL SKUs only. A lot of common scenarios for this is organizations want to use something like Linux. Hey, I want to allow my dev shop to actually turn on and use Red Hat Linux as a good example. You can also do this in Azure Portal under cost management. You can see it's on, off, or free BYOL only. So that's a common scenario that we enabled this summer. The second one is a scenario around, hey, I want to constrain a virtual machine type or a virtual machine version number as well. And you can leverage Azure Policy in order to do this. So I'm going to show you guys get a copy of this deck afterwards. I'm going to show you guys kind of at a high level how to walk through this. Then I'll jump out of PowerPoint, because I'm sure you're already tired of me talking to you in slides. And I'll guide you guys through how you can try this out on your own, and then we'll come back. So really at a high level, the first screenshot is showing the Azure portal. And if you come in there and just search for policy, this is where you're actually going to define policies, in this case to a virtual machine. And I'll show you where you can get a sample policy. On the step number 2 here, what I went in and did is I created a policy. And really what's happening here is you're seeing that under Microsoft.compute disks, virtual machines, and virtual machine scale sets, it's really just some JSON that's saying, hey, if it's not a type of canonical, Ubuntu server version 14.04 and so on, the effect is deny. So basically, it's just you're putting in some parameters to say if it's not this type of virtual machine, we don't want to allow it in our organization. Once you've got that policy definition created, you can actually just right-click on it, and you can assign the policy. And that policy will go into effect. You'll see a little blurb that says it usually takes about 30 minutes to take effect. I tend to find it's a bit quicker than that, but it takes a while to deploy. And then really, the result of that then, this is one that I did last night, and I'll show you guys how to do this in a second. Then what I did is after I assigned this policy, I went in and said new virtual machine, and I used Red Hat, and I tried to deploy a Red Hat virtual machine. And you can see when it started to provision it, it got flagged, and it says test ignite was disallowed by policy. I named it canonical VM platform image. If you click on the error message, it tells you specifically, which is helpful for an end user. You want to know like what just happened. Like I got denied, but I don't understand why. They can see the policy, which is also, as a pro tip, is make sure your policies actually make sense. They're understandable from an end user perspective, because this is what they'll see when they get the deny. All right, so one of the things that I'm going to show you guys, just to give you a quick tour, is there's a link in the deck to this docs article and sample policy. But they've done a really cool sample where not only is it the sample policy, but I'm going to show you how you can go in and you can actually try it. There's kind of an interactive experience. Let's actually try it out. Okay, so this is the sample, and I really was just showing you on the PowerPoint slide. Let me zoom in a little bit. This was this was the JSON that we were looking at earlier. But if you come down a little bit further, you can actually click on this button to deploy to Azure, or I'm going to do it from the command line interface. If you click on try it, what it's going to do is you're going to have a Azure Cloud Shell. And once that connects, you can take these commands. There's a PowerShell version. This is the Azure CLI is the version that I'm going to use. So basically, you can copy these instructions and then just paste them in. What I did is I pasted this into Visual Studio Code, and you can see it's going to use a command called AZ policy definition. It's going to create a VM-specific image policy. I'm calling it Ignite 2019 demo policy, and it's only going to allow canonical VMs. So let's copy this. Whoops. Minimize that. And now that this is up and running, let's paste this in. We'll hit enter. Away it goes. Let's go see if it actually did anything. So now I'm in the Azure portal, and what I'm going to do is, you can see I was using policy, so it's right there at my fingertips, but if you just type in policy, that'll take us to the policy section. And what we're going to do is we want to come down to definitions, and we should see a new one in here. Oh, by default, you'll see all policies. The one that we just created is a custom policy, so I'm going to sort by custom. And you can see that there's a new one in here called Ignite 2019 Demo Policy. So that was just created. I can right-click on this and say Assign. So it's going to enable it. I'm going to create that. And you can see this is where it says, hey, it generally takes about 30 minutes to take effect. Once you do that, then what you can try out on your own is go and create a resource. Like what I did is I did Red Hat. So find an image, Red Hat, for example. Start to create the resource, and just for the sake of time, I'll show you. Once I picked my subscription and my username and password and so on and tried to hit create, this was the end result. So this is the screenshot that I was showing you earlier. Is I tried to create a Red Hat Enterprise Linux image. I get this error. If the user clicks on this error, this is where they see the policy, and they can actually go to the policy to actually see it. So again, let's jump back to the presentation. You have a link to this inside here, but what I would encourage you guys to do, if you haven't played around with Azure Policy, definitely take a look. For me personally, this type of scenario was really helpful, because you're not just seeing the JSON and the commands, but you can actually try it out as you're actually playing around with it. Okay. For some of you, having done this conversation many, many times, you might say, hey, that's cool. Azure Policy looked great. Glad that you can do this from the command line. Glad that we can do this through PowerShell and so on. I really would like something in the UI where I can basically whitelist. The scenario that I want to have is I want to be able to go through with my procurement team, my legal team, my finance team, all the fun characters in the enterprise. We want to go through there and we basically want to have an approved vendor list. And we want to basically whitelist those in the marketplace. Does that scenario ring a bell for anybody? Would that be an interesting one? Yeah. I've put a link to our Microsoft Commercial Marketplace roadmap. Keep an eye on this over the next couple months. The engineering teams basically are in a big planning cycle right now, and then we update this whenever we kind of come out of planning with engineering. But one of the things that we're working with a bunch of customers on and getting a lot of feedback already is this one right here. Customer Managed Marketplace, AKA private marketplace. Some people call it a private store. Call it whatever you would like. The scenario here is going to be, hey, I like the Azure Marketplace, but I would like to have the Contoso version of that. And when a user signs in as ryan@contoso.com, what I would see in there are only the software images and SKUs that the organization is allowing me to see. So it gives you guys curated control and governance. If that's of interest to you, I'd love to hear about it, the team and I, so you guys can actually sign up at aka.ms/private marketplace early adopters. And then what we will do is basically we'll facilitate conversations with the engineering team if you guys would like to be given a heads up when this is coming, if you want to give feedback or requirements. That's really what my team does around early adopter programs. Okay, the next one that we want to talk about is securing network traffic and services. So has anybody heard of Azure Private Link? A couple of you? Good, you guys are up to speed. Did you see a session this week on it, or did you just see it? Oh, nice. So in September of this year, Azure Private Link was announced in preview. And the scenario that comes up quite often with customers, especially around SaaS services, is I basically want to ensure that all the traffic for services, both my own or third-party services, really remain on the Microsoft network. I don't want them to go over the public network. Or more specifically, not only do I want them to stay on the Microsoft backbone, I only want to have a connection to a specific resource or endpoint. So this is something that the Azure engineering team has released, and kind of in a similar vein, for those of you that are partners, basically we're partnering up with the engineering team, and we're going to run an early adopter program for this as well. So if a scenario would be like, hey, you'd like to participate in a workshop, understand how to build this type of a service so that customers could actually leverage your marketplace offering around Azure Private Link, that's exactly what this program is. So you can sign up at aka.ms/private link early adopter program. And if that is interesting to you, I believe this one's tomorrow. Yeah. So these are all the related Ignite sessions for Azure Private Link. And just remind me at the end, if you didn't get a chance to take a picture, I'm happy to leave this up for a little bit. But there's one that the engineering team is doing, Sumit and Naran from the product team. They're doing one tomorrow specifically around Azure Private Link. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about deployment flexibility with Azure Marketplace. And these are really just a bunch of scenarios that tend to come up whenever we have customer conversations. So one of the first ones is, hey, maybe I'm at the beginning stages of my cloud migration journey. How can I migrate on-premise to the cloud? So one of the things that we have in Azure Marketplace is a concept called bring your own license. That makes a lot of sense for organizations. There tend to be two kind of major starting points. One is, hey, I'm going to use Azure Marketplace as a way to easily turn on and deploy some Linux virtual machines or some Windows virtual machines. That's a very, very common scenario. The other one after they do that then is, hey, what is some software that you already are licensed for on-prem, and look for it in the Azure Marketplace, and you could start bringing those workloads, like a database is a perfect example. I have a license for a database. I want to bring that into Azure. I can do that through the Azure Marketplace through Bring Your Own License. Related to that is, hey, it's not just migration. I'm also on point in my organization to drive innovation. So one aspect could be, how do I migrate some stuff that I have on-prem and I want to bring that to the cloud? The other one could be, hey, what are new scenarios where a Microsoft partner, third-party service, could help me innovate in the cloud as well. One of the scenarios to do that then is take a look at some key workloads. Usually after someone deploys some virtual machines like operating systems, the next category they tend to look at, how do I secure this? So something like a Barracuda web app firewall or something like that. Or taking a look at storage partners, maybe for disaster recovery, those types of scenarios. If you want to dive a little bit deeper, our colleagues are doing a session specifically on this topic of how to quickly deploy existing data and software to the cloud. So that's an Ignite session. I gave you guys the link there. The other scenario is, hey, I have different maturity levels inside my organization as well as different deployment requirements. It's not really a one-size-fits-all. So a couple things just to point out, if you haven't played around with Azure Marketplace, we call them offer types, but basically, when you look at offerings in the Azure Marketplace, there's a few different ways that you can deploy. There's virtual machines, and then if you had a group of virtual machines, there's something called solution templates. So those are virtual machine offer types. SaaS is another specific offer type, and containers as well. Those tend to be the top 3 deployment vehicles that folks are looking for. Arguably, a fourth one could be IoT as well. So we have those as deployment vehicles in Azure Marketplace. The other thing that's unique with Azure Marketplace is we also have consulting services as an offer type. So what this is quite often, we got a lot of feedback where it was, hey, I found some security solutions as a good example, or Ali and I worked with a group of partners that had complementary IP for healthcare around security. And what they really wanted was the hospitals that were wanting to deploy these solutions said, I love it, this is exactly what I need, it conforms to my HIPAA requirements. I do not have the expertise to actually deploy this. I need an implementation, or I need an assessment, or I need a workshop, or I need a trainer. So what they ended up doing was, not only did they deploy those solutions, but they leveraged consulting services. So these are partners that actually have offerings, whether that's implementation, assessment, a workshop, or training. You can find consulting services in the Azure Marketplace as well, and I gave you guys a link for that. The other scenario is managed service providers. So this would be a scenario where hey, I would actually like to have an Azure expert. I want to give them some delegated, constrained access to part of my Azure subscription as a managed service. What you can do is if you go into the Azure portal and just search for service providers, what you will see is exactly that. You will see Azure expert MSPs, managed service providers, that will be able to manage Azure aspects within a constrained environment. The last one, if you need complete customization and flexibility, we have a program called Cloud Solution Providers. What these guys do is basically they will work with you end to end. They control all aspects from sales, billing relationship, technical, billing support. They become your single point of contact. So it's kind of ranges of flexibility there. All right, last slide is a few other scenarios. These come up more often around SaaS. Is, hey, I need more flexible billing and options around SaaS. So one of them could be, I want to buy in volume and I don't want to pay list price. A related ask to this is, I also want custom terms and conditions. So that's called a private offer. So as a partner, what you're able to do in Azure Marketplace is you can extend what's called a private offer targeted to a specific customer tenant or a group of tenants where you basically have figured out a negotiated price, negotiated terms and conditions. The other one that customers deal with is, hey, I don't want to have to review every single ISV's custom terms and conditions. Like if I'm working with a few governments where they're looking at like thousands of vendors, and they're like, I'm not going to look at the T's and C's for 2,000 vendors. I want an idea of a standardized contract. So we have something called the Microsoft Standard Contract. And again, it would be between the customer and the partner. Microsoft isn't a party to it. But really, we just provided it as a template, if you will, to standardize on the customer side. Inevitably, large organizations and governments being what they are, they said, oh, I love standard contract. If you could just add some amendments to it. So really, that's the best sweet spot, which is I want the idea where there's a standard contract in place, but I am, a certain government, let's say, and I'm always going to have a few amendments that are outlining the jurisdiction as a good example, or some regulatory thing. That way you get the best of both worlds. Standardization with the flexibility the customer can actually add the amendments that they want. Finally, on the pricing side is with SaaS, we've had flat monthly, so I want to pay for an offering per month at a standard rate, or I want to pay per year. We've had that for a while. The other ones that we launched earlier this year is the idea to pay per seat or per user. Is a very, very common scenario. And then we launched in July an idea around metered billing. The scenario there is, as a partner, you can go in and say, I maybe want to charge a flat rate every month or annually, or $0. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bill the customer, or the customer wants to consume based on gigabytes or based on number of emails sent. It's kind of almost like a cell phone plan where you're thinking about, hey, I'm going to get billed on a specific pricing dimension. Okay. Oh, I'm 20 minutes on the dot. All right, what just happened? What we talked about was, hey, cloud marketplaces aren't just for small, mid-sized organizations. We're seeing a lot of interest from the enterprise space and large global organizations. What goes hand in hand with that is they have way more sophisticated technical requirements, deployment, billing, all of those types of things like governance. So we really covered cost management, resource control, how to secure the network traffic, and then really some deployment and billing options for you guys to consider. I think the other big takeaway is we've got a big focus around this as a core scenario for the engineering teams going forward. So you're going to see us to continue to innovate. Keep checking our roadmap, and then by all means come and see myself, Felipe, or Ali afterwards if you want to participate in any of the early adopter programs. So with that, I will say thank you, and also Ali left cards for you guys. The first prize is an Xbox, right, Ali? Second prize is a Surface Go. Third prize is a bundle with some headphones and some other swag and so on. So if you take those cards, get them stamped at the different booths, return them, you can win that as a prize. So with that, thank you very much. And as I said earlier, I'll be hanging out afterwards if you guys have any questions or feedback. Thank you.